All right. Hello and welcome to the bi-weekly meeting of the Backdrop Design Group. My name is Luke McCormick. I'm a web project manager in San Ramon, California. Let's go over to Jen.
Jen Lampton, joining from Oakland, California. We're just finally beautiful outside, although, yeah, a lot of downed trees. California is trying to figure out how to have a storm. Let's see, anything exciting? Backdrop Live is tomorrow. That's the only thing I'm really focused on, Backdrop B right now. But I am looking forward to some big projects in my future. Let's see, how about Tim?
Sure, this is Tim Erickson, St. Paul Tim in Deerwood, Minnesota, where it just keeps snowing. So we got a lot of snow this winter, but it's also starting to warm up above freezing. So hopefully it will slowly start to melt. Yeah, I've been overwhelmed with just work and other stuff, and Backdrop Live tomorrow. I'm excited about that. So we'll talk about that. Sarvashri.
Okay, my name is Sarvashri and I'm in Walnut Cove, North Carolina. I'm not a developer, just a site builder for my own sites and exploring ways to do it better, easier, and all of that. And trying to get more people into Backdrop because I think it's a good choice for lots of people. Let's see, Martin is the last on the list.
Yes, I'm Martin Price in Northeast England, United Kingdom, and I'm a developer mainly in the contrib space. I'm really looking forward to Backdrop Live. I think we've got a really good lineup of discussions there. So, yeah.
Hey, that's everybody. Okay, so again, this is normally the Design UX meeting, but I think we're going to start out and just do an update on Backdrop Live and see what needs to happen. A quick update for those who haven't been following my Zulip posts is registration is up at about 38. Well, that's what it is right now, 38 people, which for the last Backdrop Live, we only had a total of 43. So we're almost to where we were last time, although, not. And registrations have ranged anywhere from around 40 to 60 or 70 for the most. So, and this is with, like, we were at 10 a week ago. So the encouraging thing is how quickly we got to 38 this time. We did it really in about a week, because we just didn't do some of the early publicity that we normally do or would like to do. So that's good news. I mean, I think we're doing pretty good given the limited amount of publicity we've done. In terms of what we have done, we did one newsletter blast, our first one using Civi CRM. I think it went smoothly. Did anybody? There were a couple of little hiccups behind the scenes as we created the thing, but I think that got sorted out. Did anybody notice anything with? Did everybody get the email? Do you know?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
I mean,
Go ahead.
one thing that was a little odd was the header, even when it was finalized, had draft in the subject line.
Mine didn't.
Right, mine did.
I got a version of it without draft in the subject line. I'm 99% sure. Did anybody else notice that? Did you get one with draft in it, or?
Unless it's just gone into the conversation of the previous ones.
Maybe.
Is the subject line Backdrop Live in 2 days?
No, that was, so I also sent one to everybody who registered at the last Backdrop Live a day later. So Monday.
Backdrop Live is this Friday.
Yes, that's
Okay.
Backdrop Live
That's
is
the
this Friday.
subject I got. Yeah, I didn't get anything with draft in it.
No draft in mine.
It must have just gone into the
Same thread.
into the conversation with the previous one.
Sure. That didn't get out until Tuesday. So again, we were at like around 10 people as of Tuesday, and we've gotten 28 since then. We did it during the marketing meeting. Martin, Luke, and I had a kind of a working marketing meeting and worked on the newsletter and got it out. And then yesterday I sent out a note as a separate email. That's the one Backdrop Live in 2 days. And that just went to anybody who registered for the October Backdrop Live. So
I
those were
didn't-
the only
I
two.
did not get it this time.
You did not get it. Okay. Be sure to check your spam folder and let us know. Again, we did use a different system, which might have, changed. I don't know how that affected like people's spam folders.
I did get it, and it was in my spam folder.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't.
Um,
I thought I didn't get it. But
Oh, the second one or the first one?
yeah, but it was in fact in spam. So maybe we should look
Well-
into that separately.
Yeah, that is the one that goes out directly. Well, yeah, that goes out from the event site. And I don't know if we have like the things set up there.
We should.
Although
I'll check.
so we use the registration module for Backdrop Live, and that has a featured email registrants. And basically what I've been doing for previous Backdrop Lives is the night before I try to send out. So I would later tonight send out an email to anybody who's registered, just with a reminder. We're starting tomorrow morning, and a few tips, things for them to get ready. A reminder to bring new topic ideas. And then for those of you who remember, or maybe some of you didn't get these because they were going into spam, I try before each block throughout Backdrop Live to send out an update to everybody who's registered saying, here are the sessions that we currently have scheduled for the next block. And I haven't always been great at that, but I think it went pretty smoothly last time. And then that's pretty much how I use that tool. In terms of just contacting the people who've registered. So some people are still registering early in the day of the first day, so that to keep sending stuff out helps them get caught up with sort of where we're at.
I didn't find it in my
Spam
spam.
folder. Either one of them, you're just talking the second one?
None of them. The only
Okay.
thing I got from you was a direct Zula about my
Sure.
session.
Well, okay. I think I emailed you as well. We should check on that. Any other comments or ideas for communicating with members, or anything that I haven't done in the past that I should to communicate with people? So what are the things we have to do then? The big thing, I'm going to share the site just as a reminder. We've talked about getting a good checklist, and I haven't went looking for it. I don't remember to what extent we've done that yet, or if it's still, but sort of the go live event. So the big one is getting the schedule, the upcoming block on the front page. And will you be able to do that tomorrow morning, or should we
Yep.
do that already tonight, do you think?
I can do it tomorrow morning.
Okay. We should get it up there early enough that when people come to the site, if they're not sure where to go or what to do, it's there. The other thing we do is, well, we should go through and make sure all of the events have good. Or did you? Nope, you didn't go through and do them all. So a couple of them have sort of descriptive paths already. A bunch of them don't. Still have just the node. So all we need to do is, if for anybody who has access, is go in to hit edit. Just go down to the URL settings, hit generate. Shouldn't that show me what the automatic one would be? Or do if I hit save, will it create one? It did. Oh, you went the long route. Okay, so
I think it's good.
yeah, it's fine. March, I would have been happy with just March 2023 in this middle section, but
Well, that it's all you get is because it's a reference field.
Sure.
You can't format it. You can't do a date format. So
okay.
it's just the title.
Yeah.
Anyways, so somebody needs to go through and make sure all of our sessions have paths. We also need to just create a Google Doc, and what we've been doing in the past now is we just create a single Google Doc, but we paste the link to that Google Doc in all of the collaborated notes. And I think those are the for all of the sessions. I think that's it. And then the question that I brought up before is, do we go ahead and add a third column? Which the schedule is almost full enough during the busy spots. Like block A is completely full. And this is probably the busiest one. So having a third column, I think that's what we did last time, is we just added a third column in the busy blocks. I don't think we did it in all of them.
Yeah.
This one's almost full.
This one's almost empty.
Yes. And block B, we've been just canceling, and I'd like to go ahead and just cancel that tonight. Hide this. And I'm debating whether or not we should just get rid of block C. It's, we haven't had a lot of participation there. And since nobody else is posting any topics, I certainly, I sort of made the mini showcase. I'm afraid nobody's, I don't know if anybody's going to have mini showcases to present. So we're not losing anything there.
It's the middle of the night. Well, it's the small hours of the morning for UK and Europe. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So this would be one that's
pretty late for the US too. So
it is. I mean, I would be up till 1 a.m. for that one. We have had some good small discussions in this block in the past, but it certainly it's never been well attended. And usually it's like one track. And I've had the feeling that sometimes it's been, Nate, Jen, and I just making up things to share with
hanging
us.
out.
Remember I think we did the module showcase like late at night on Friday, and Nate was just sort of spontaneously showing off some of the work he had been doing.
So it's just me that we need to do more outreach in India.
Well,
Japan.
Yeah, that's the prime time.
Yes, these late night blocks have always, we're not reaching those audiences, and/or, I mean, we do, like, of the European part of the problem is that I think anybody who's familiar with Backdrop Live knows that we don't have many people. So even like Martin would be a great person to do a session in Block D, but I think Martin doesn't want to sit there by himself doing a presentation in Block D. So he schedules all of his during times that are, in the US. And I think the only way this block ever works is if we get somebody from, at the other side of the globe that's excited about it and really helps promote it and, generate some content that then people come for.
It's also Saturday morning, and if I've been up late for the ones the night before, I don't particularly want to get up and be up and ready to on the computer that early. So
anyways, so
do you now have a list of where everybody is in the database?
Well, not really. We know people who register where they're from because we ask them that. We don't, like in our email newsletter, we don't know where everybody lives. But even then, it doesn't really matter. It's, again, somebody has to organize this and there has to be interest. I think part of it is a lot of our European participants don't participate on Saturday or don't want to do it really early Saturday morning. So
they have a healthy work-life balance.
Right.
What? That's crazy.
They're more balanced. I've debated trying this block on Friday instead of Saturday to see if that would get more attention, but we've never actually done that. So,
well, now that it's moved to just twice a year, people in those faraway places might, be willing to participate in a twice a year program if there's something really relevant to them that can be, highlighted for Europe, India.
Well, we just need
Okay.
somebody to take that on, and it's too late for this session. So I think for sure we're going to cancel Block D. What about Block C? Anybody think we should keep Block C, or should we just close both of those this time?
I feel like I would be fine canceling Block C. I feel like I might want to leave it till at least the end of the next meeting to see if anybody else really wanted to do anything in
Okay.
that slot. But if not, then I think it's fine if we cancel it too. I did unpublish Block D.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's taken care of. But this block is 2/3 full. We have 2 slots, and this one is almost full. So I think we could open up a third column. I think, well, at least for the first day, I would do that. Attendance is usually dropped by Saturday, and it might not be necessary. I don't know. So I don't know, Jen. I don't think you have any way to automatically add a third column, do you? We just have to go in and create individual, new nodes.
Yep. Do you
Right.
want an automatic way to add them? I was kind of thinking because we aren't necessarily going to know which blocks need them, that manually adding them would be better, but
I'm fine with that.
okay.
Good. Anything else that needs to be done to the website before tomorrow? I think those are the main things, right? Getting the schedule on the front page, adding whatever blocks we want, getting rid of the ones we didn't want. And
URL aliases, I
yeah,
did.
URL aliases are done. Okay. So yeah, so I don't think there's anything else. I'm not. Oh, here's okay, really important. Our backdrop for beginners. As far as I know, Luke is the only one we have. This was, I believe, last time it was Luke, Laren, and Greg. And Greg can't commit to it, or doesn't even think he's going to be able to attend because he's not going to be internet accessible, possibly. So Luke, you're doing views, right? Yep.
That's my plan.
So we need somebody to do content types and layouts, and I can certainly step in and do either of those. I prefer to get other people because I've already got about 5 sessions.
Yeah, I can't do 4 o'clock. There's a chance I won't be back for another hour, but I can do the layouts one.
Okay.
I don't have my name on anything yet, so I'd be
Right.
happy to do that.
That would be 2 for you, again, just so you remember, right? This is for Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if you could do the layouts one, anybody else here want to do one of these? I think we had chatted with Joseph about possibly doing one. We can, let me wait and see in the next meeting if anybody shows up that might be willing to do the content types for beginners. I'd prefer, again, not to because I'm managing other things, but I can definitely step in and do that.
I mean, I'm doing a few, but if there's no one else, I'll do that content types and fields.
I clearly don't have a presentation prepared for it, but it's like, this is the stuff I've explained so many times to people that I feel like we can just sort of walk through that. And I think that's the way most of these went last time, is that, as far as like Luke or Greg, I think you guys all pretty much just sort of did a tour and just sort of did it from memory, right? I don't know if any of you had like slides prepared last time. Do you know?
Yeah, I just winged it.
Okay. And I think they went, but and for those who don't remember, I was curious how this last time was the first time we did this. And my recollection is that we had about a 50-50 split between the backdrop for beginners and whatever was up against it for all 3 sessions. And I think that amounted to 8 to 10 people in each room with a similar number of registrations. So, and I'm seeing quite a few names. I mean, that's one of the encouraging things, is that every backdrop live, I see a bunch of names registering that I've never seen before. And that holds true this time. So I think we're going to have decent turnout for backdrop for beginners. Okay. Otherwise, I'm not worried about getting other things on the schedule, but if anybody else wants to put something else on the schedule right now, they can. I've thrown on a couple of topics that just interest me. That are things that I really wanted to talk about. Jen, I don't know if you were here last week. I think you came in at the tail end. I mean, I might, if the schedule fills up, I could take this off, but I have for years felt like not used the backdrop slide decks just because I wasn't quite sure how. And I figured it out this year. So I thought maybe I should just show people what I learned, and then we could talk about JS Reveal. And also, Greg pointed out that we're actually a little behind in maintaining that, the repo.
Yeah.
And maybe we could talk about getting that repo up to date if there's interest.
Yep.
So that's one of them I added. Sarvashri added recently the AI tools one. There's a description there. I also just added one on Mastodon and ActivityPub. And I think I've done this one before, but it's really, I've had an uptick in my support clients. At the same time, I'm really busy with regular clients. And I'm just looking for tips on how to better juggle all of that, and sharing what I've learned. I mean, I've been doing some things. So
Yeah, I think that'll be good for all of us to share.
I just did a artificial intelligence query on that explain content types and fields in Backdrop CMS,
Mhm.
and it explained it to me.
Okay.
I can show you how that works, and then you can add more detail to the query. It's really interesting. If there's anything that you don't know about anything, this AI stuff is really mind-blowing.
You have to have a bit of caution, because
Yeah.
have been a number of cases where if it doesn't know something, it just guesses and makes up
It
something.
makes stuff up. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to check
So
out.
don't take everything you read from AI
Yes.
as gospel proof. Because
AI lies, just
I
like
think
everyone
it's-
else.
It
It's the
depends on-
same warning I would give everybody on just about every media content type, is always be careful. But yes, there's really great examples where the AI chatbots are just making stuff up.
Yep.
So
The new GPT Chat 4 is much better
Yeah.
than 3. So
Yeah.
it's changing. I don't know if y'all have been looking at this stuff or not.
I haven't. It was a while back. I'm glad you did this, Sarvashri. I was thinking about just having a discussion about AI stuff because it's such a trendy topic, and because we're all kind of wondering about it right now. It would be a fun thing to talk about. So,
Do you think we can get ChatGPT to write our blog posts?
well,
Oh,
I
sure.
think we should. That's definitely something we can talk about here.
Oh,
It's-
it will write great.
it could.
That's what
The
I
question
was
is, do we
thinking.
want it to?
Well, I
If you
mean, the
did
thing
it-
we have the most trouble with is the first draft, right?
Yeah,
I
right,
feel like it can do that part.
I have been
Fix
giving
it.
serious thought to that, to using a
Me
chatbot
too.
to do first drafts on blog posts. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really
I'm-
one of the main uses of it. And if you give
Mhm.
it pretty good direction, it will do a good job. And
Yeah.
you can change the temperature on it so that you can make it more or less creative and all that.
No, really. Okay.
There's a
Well,
there's a whole thing to it.
I look
I'll
forward
talk
to your
about
demo,
tomorrow.
Sarvashri, although I really need the SEO session as well. So I'm not sure which one I'll be participating in because those are both pressing for me. Well, the SEO is more important for me right now because I'm dealing with current issues. The AI one is very interesting right now. Anything else? Okay, it's we're down to about 12 minutes before the next meeting. I think I don't know if we have anything else to do backdrop live wise. I would
just-
push. Go ahead.
It's just worth mentioning there's been a little bit of chat in Zulip about the recordings from the last session. And I remember when I was in the Zulip chat and tried to record and just recorded it locally. And so I don't know how, and I think Justin's got one that he could upload. So I don't know how we best get that in a place where it can be added to the backdrop channel.
Sure. So one of the things I want us to do is have like a community meeting, or it could be a backdrop live session to sort of train more people about how to use how to get our meetings going, how to manage our YouTube channel. Like our YouTube channel has gotten to be, I think, kind of a mess. It used to be that sometimes I would hurriedly put a name for a recording, and it wouldn't be quite right, and I would go after the meeting and fix it. And I think some of my meeting titles might not be formatted the same, and I haven't went back and fixed them. Anyways, there's a little bit of triage that could be done to sort of clean up our YouTube channel, to also upload, when we have. I mean, the main thing is, I think in the past, it's almost always fallen on like Generai to upload videos like that. And people told me about those videos last time, and they said, "Oh, I've got a video for you," and I just didn't have time to do anything with it, and it never happened. So the short of this is, I think we should get more people that understand how to do that stuff, so that you guys can help with it, and then they won't sit around like this.
Yeah.
Ideally, and we could schedule an hour during Backdrop Live, or maybe better would be to make one of our community meetings kind of a volunteer training, and we just walk through, and then we could record it. And what do you think, John?
Yeah,
we lose
I
you?
think. No, sorry, I was muted. I had to find my unmute button. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we could try to do it now at Backdrop Live. I'm just a little nervous about not being prepared, and I don't know let's just do it as a community. I mean, unless if anybody wants to do that, let me know. We could put it on the schedule in Backdrop Live. Otherwise, I will plan to get that on the community meeting schedule.
Great.
I like some of the earlier meeting naming strategies where they're in the style of Friends titles. The one where it's all like the one where Jen did this, or the one where we agreed that we celebrated responsive tabs. That's quite a creative way of doing them.
Okay, where did we do that?
I think it was quite in some of the early meetings.
Okay. I don't remember doing that myself. Maybe somebody else did. We'll have to take a look. I like the idea. I'm just babbling. Anybody want to take over, or should we just wrap this up?
If anybody wants to send me a question that they want an answer to, I'll do a little AI search on it and send it to you and see if that is useful for you.
Well, here, that reminds me of something. So first of all, yes, although the part of, I imagine you can do that somewhat live in your session too.
Yeah.
One of the things that doesn't get used very much, but I find helpful. And Luke, did you post any comments yet? Because Luke, you keep telling me how you've always loved this idea of people talking about topics before the event. We have comments turned on, and I've went through. It looks like Laren, a couple of us have posted comments on some of these, and sometimes that's helpful. Like if you post a question ahead of time, but I would recommend that if anybody has time to kind of go through the schedule, and if there are sessions that you're going to be at or can't be at, but you have something you want to share, go ahead and do it in the comments ahead of the session. I think that's really helpful, and it might be useful to participants on the day of the event to sort of see what other people are interested in. And,
all right, if you want to invite the New Yorker to express some opinions about things, I'll go ahead. I usually try to rein myself in.
Like for Sarvashri people, you could put a note in your suggest that people put some queries in the comments if they want.
Yeah, for instance, somebody has some code that they're having trouble debugging.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can send me the code. I could run it through, and it will find
Sure.
all the problems with it.
Sure. The last thing that I was thinking at the last minute was just, it isn't too late to do a final, small social media like post. Anybody that hasn't yet posted to Twitter or Facebook or whatever tool you use, it's not too late to do that. I'd still encourage you to do it. Is there any, if anybody has any ideas of sort of last minute things we could do that might get some attention or draw somebody in? So one of the things,
Since AI is getting to be a big thing, maybe you could put that on social media that there'll be
sure,
an AI session.
I will try to do that, to tweet and Mastodon about that particular topic, because you're right, that might be of interest to some people.
I'm inviting some WordPress people to the little session. So, but you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that.
I have posted on Mastodon about your session, and I specifically said if any WordPress folks want to come in and help us out on this, on telling us why WordPress is better, that we would welcome them.
Yeah, but by the way, Jen knows I'm just rebooting her old session from DrupalCon.
I love it. I love it.
Luke told me that on Tuesday. I didn't realize that he had stolen that idea from you, Jen, but I love it too. And I could totally imagine you doing that. So,
Yeah, that was from DrupalCon Copenhagen, I think.
okay.
He did it at Bad Camp too.
Yeah.
We have, I put the, I had somebody ask me yesterday, so why is back, I posted a note. Just, the original note was just about, saying if you'd like to build a website and open source and you want something more powerful than WordPress, but easier than Drupal, come to our Backdrop for Beginners session. And this one person asked me, so why is Backdrop better than WordPress? And there's been a little bit of a discussion. I answered it a bit. A few people have kind of chimed in. And then I also mentioned in that discussion that your session, Luke, I said we actually have a session about why. In addition to here's why I think Backdrop is better, my colleague is going to tell us why what WordPress is doing good. But any kind of exchange like that right now is helpful. I haven't been really explicit about it, Jan, but more and more, as we post to social media and people come to the website on the day of the event, we have the links to the sessions that are live. And I think we have seen people that just sort of drop in without registering. And that's never bothered me. I've never worried about it. But my question is, do we want to embrace that and like send out a last minute thing saying, hey, if you want to just drop in for one session, the information's all there on the website. Or should we just leave it the way it is?
I don't have very strong feelings about that. I do have a sneaking suspicion that the number of people who make a donation to attend Backdrop Live decreases with every Backdrop Live in relation to the number of people who are attending the event.
Yeah.
And I wonder if people have just sort of started assuming that they don't need to, like Backdrop doesn't need money or something. And so I would want to be a little careful with that because we would then be setting the precedent that this is a free event. And I think we need to be like, that is our only income source at the moment. So I don't lose it entirely.
Sure. I think I'm not going to do anything real explicit, but I might do some social media posts tomorrow, just pointing people at the site. And if people choose to drop in with the Zoom link, that won't upset me. But
yeah, I think like posting in Zulip and on social media is probably fine, but let's not send a newsletter.
Oh no, yeah.
With the link. Yeah, I think that's fine. Otherwise.
Okay, let's officially end this meeting. Nate's here for the next one. Thanks everybody. See you tomorrow or